Good morning, good people. Thank you for joining me. Today's topic is God's will. We all know God's will. And I get some people say, I know it, but I don't understand it. I read it. Okay, we know it. Regardless, we know it because He's been giving us the gospel since the beginning of time. We've been witness to, we had encounters with God, we had visitations, we heard His voice, people witness, so we know. Now, my point is, it's imperative for you to be saved. Yes, because we know what's coming. Now, it's not now, but it is coming. And we get made fun of, we get criticized. Yeah, they've been saying that for years. Okay? We're going to keep saying it because this is what God is telling us to do. So while we're doing that, we're trying to snatch people out of the hand of Satan as much as possible because we see the time. Now, I'm going to speak to you about a prophet, Ezekiel, and I'm going to read some scriptures from chapter 3, starting with verse 10 and then 17 through 21. And I might get some debates because some things I'm going to say is not going to, the people that's super deep is not going to like it, but I don't care. Read, and what I'm saying will match up with what you're reading. So, with that being said, I'm going to start with verse 10. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, all my words that I shall speak unto you, receive in your heart and hear with your ears. So the prophet is getting the word first. God is working on him. So when he get done with him, he gonna have him go out and do the same thing for somebody else. And in this particular chapter, he's speaking to Ezekiel to judge the children of Israel because of their lack of faith and their disobedience and all the things that they have done. Today's world, right? Because in the New Testament, that's what Jesus came to do. Verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. Okay? Warn them. Just like I'm warning you, you relate the message to them. Verse 18. When I say unto the wicked, you shall surely die, and you give him not warning, nor speak to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but I will hold you accountable for his blood. Now, in the New Testament, you are responsible for your own life. Paul says, work out your salvation with fear and trembling. He didn't say you and 20 more other people and the pastors and the bishop. He said you, because you have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. Verse 19, yet if you warn the wicked and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but you have delivered your soul. So God is saving this. In the Old Testament, he saved the person because he warned the unbeliever and those that were saved that were doing wrong. Look, get it right. You don't hear me? It is what God says it is, but I'm going to keep going. And what did they do in the New Testament? They shook off the dust of their feet for a testimony against those people where they lived at. Because I gave you the word, you did not receive it, I'm going to go on. Okay? Verse 20. Again, when a righteous man do turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, you have not given him his warning, he shall die. He shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he hath done shall not be remembered. But his blood will I require at your hand. So in the Old Testament, the people that God sent was responsible for the life of others. In the New Testament, again, you are responsible for yours. We give the word, we sow the seed, and it is God that water and gives the increase. The relationship is between you and Jesus Christ. We get out of the way so he can make the necessary changes and do the work in you to get you where you're supposed to be in him. Last verse. Nevertheless, if you warn the righteous man that the righteous man sin not, and he do not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned. And also, you have delivered your soul. So, we see right here that God judges both the righteous and the unsaved. So all these people that's walking around talking about, you can't judge me, don't give me that, I don't want to hear that. God didn't say this. Yeah, he did. It's right here in his word. Nobody is going to escape the judgment. We are all without an excuse. We all can do better because we know the word. God sent people, and he constantly sent people, and he constantly sent people from generation to generation. So he's judging all sin, whether you're a lesbian, a homosexual, a child molester, a pedophile, if they're the same thing, a thief, a robber, you stole, you cheat on your wife, you cheat on your husband. All that is grouped together as sin to God, and he's going to judge it, saved and unsaved. And the sad part for us as believers, because some of us get caught up in that foolishness, the judgment begin at the house of God. So when he get through with us, what you think your end gonna be being unsaved? This is why I said it's imperative for you to be saved. Don't think about what if, where I'm gonna go, what's gonna happen. Think of where you're going to go in the afterlife. Nobody thinks about that because they think we're gonna live forever. We're not. The signs of the world is telling us now, the changes in the people, the money, the laws, everything is showing us it's time for him to return. Again, nobody knows the day, the hour, the time. We don't know nothing, but we know he coming because the evidence is showing us in the world is established, and what Jesus prophesied is taking place. And my dear hearts, I want you saved. That's all I can give you. I don't have nothing else. Somebody prayed for me to get me where I'm at because I wasn't always saved. I let the enemy manipulate my mind, my soul, my heart. He took advantage of me. It cost me money, time, relationships, and I'm pretty sure it did the same with you if you was unsaved. If you served Satan in that world, it cost you something. I don't care how good you thought it was for that moment, for that hour, for that season. It cost you because he always covered everything. He covered it all, so you can't see what's really happening to you, but the good you think you're getting. And this is what God want to rescue us from. So everybody that feels like they're being judged or condemned because of their lifestyle, well, I'm sorry I'm a drinker, or I'm sorry I'm a lesbian, I'm sorry that I'm non-binary, them, they. The enemy wants to keep you confused. God did not make you that. That all came from the enemy. Okay? It all came from the enemy, and his work is to keep you confused that you don't. I'm going to say it again. His work is to keep you confused so that you don't get saved, so that you don't have a relationship with Jesus Christ. And there are people, again, as I said, they're not going to accept him. They're not. There's going to be people who are saved fall away from the gospel. And then you're going to have people fighting, trying to get out of hell the best way they know how, probably at the last day. So again, I'll say this, it's imperative that you get saved. And I want to speak to the people because the highest thing that's taking place right now is about the homosexual movement. Nobody hates you all. You're human just like we are. Okay? You've got caught in sin just like we did. And you're going to say, "Oh, I'm not sinful. This is the way I was born." No, you was not. No, you was not. That is from Satan. God created you as a man. I was not born a drinker when I was drinking. I didn't come out the womb saying, "Pass me a fifth." I didn't do none of that. I was a baby. I had no knowledge to what sin is until I got older and my eyes saw and I was trained and I grew up. So these things that we're saying is not true. And I'll give you an example. I was watching Best Man Final Chapters, and there was an episode where a young man did not want to tell his dad about his identity because he said he was non-binary, which means he didn't know who he was. But when you look in the mirror, you know you're a young man. So my point is, he went to a house of God to get some help, but he read, hear me, he read the word of God for himself. And he knew that God was not going to accept him the way he was. Okay? He knew that man wasn't going to accept him the way he was. So his question was, where do I go and what do I do? So a pastor comes and tell him the very opposite of the truth. Well, Jesus loved you just as you are. He's going to take you just like you is, and you're more than welcome to come here. Yes, all those things are true. But when you come to him, you got to take off that life you live in because he's going to put his new life in you. And God is a man. He know who he is. That's why he made you one. So we need to get in the habit as leaders and telling the people the truth. Stop worrying about losing money and members and your church getting closed down. Don't lie to these people. Tell these people the truth. God gonna judge you like he judged a thief, a murderer, a liar, a child molester. It's all types of sin. And they all again are grouped in one. And he's coming back to judge all of us for all sin. There is no special kind, there is no particular one. So my invitation to you is to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior and allow him to begin his new life in you. According to Romans 10:8 through 14. But if you do not make that choice, God bless you. I still will be praying for you, and I'll see you here next time on Heal.